All right, boy, we are in trouble with the WWE with this show Raw tonight. It was, man, it was horrible. I mean, it built up to nothing. And Saturday for WrestlePalooza, which is a new thing on ESPN, and they want us to pay $30 a month to watch this trash. There was absolutely zero, nothing happened tonight that would want me to buy or pay for an app that I'm getting absolutely nothing from. I mean, whew, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's just like hitting the rerun button. It's like hitting the rerun button. It's crazy. All right, this could be short. It's going to be sweet. I mean, there's really nothing to actually really talk about because there was nothing leading up to anything that's going to be going on Saturday at WrestlePalooza. I mean, nothing. I mean, we get started with Jey Uso um, in LA Knight going at it in the parking lot. Then Nick Aldis tells them, "Hey, look, if they don't stop, you know, they could get suspended and not get paid. It'll reflect in their paycheck." Then, as the show starts, we have John Cena coming out. Um, I mean, just think about it. He only has 6 more appearances left, and it is absolutely going down the hill sour. I mean, it is definitely going down the hill sour. It's crazy. I mean, he's telling the people that, he did play football, in Springfield, and stuff like that, which is cool. I'm glad for him, and stuff. Then he started talking about offensive linemen not, being seen or getting respected and stuff like that. And then he goes on and he talks about, him and Brock Lesnar, as far as, what's going on with them. And it's been almost 11 years since Brock Lesnar and John Cena has gone at it and stuff. So that's why, I mean, to me, this match makes zero sense. I mean, Brock usually is the one that's been kicking John Cena's head all over the place. John Cena made it clear that he's not afraid of, that he is afraid of Brock Lesnar, but he's not afraid of Brock Lesnar and stuff. And he's like, hey, if Brock Lesnar wants it, you know, come and get it and come get some. He's ready, you know, um, for the match. I mean, basically that's it. You would figure, since this is building up to a new streaming site, ESPN, that it would be more to that. I mean, last week Brock Lesnar came out on SmackDown, no John Cena. This week John Cena comes out on Raw, and no Brock Lesnar. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. I mean, you would figure that they would be kind of going out, giving you a little something like, "Oh man, I can't wait for Saturday to come," and "Oh, I can't wait for this PLE. It's going to be great. It's going to be outstanding." We get none of that. None of that. I mean, back in the day, we used to get it all. I mean, there was always something going on with almost every match that was coming on the pay per view. There would be something to where you said, okay, I'll watch that and everything, just to see what the outcome is going to be. I mean, basically everything is more or less like we already know what the outcome is before we even see it and stuff. Then you got, LA Knight saying he wants, telling Nick Aldis that he wants the two Brons, Bronson Reed and Bron Breaker. And, him and Jay are going at it, arguing and stuff. But then Nick Aldis told him, if he wants a tag match with them, he had to pick out, his own tag partner. And so then LA Knight says that, well, he knows the right person. Then he would say Jimmy Uso, and then, Jay was against it and stuff like that. So it went on like that. Then you got Lyra Valkair versus Roxanne Perez. This match was, I mean, it was okay. I mean, I have to give Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkair, their props. I mean, the match was actually a good match for the two and stuff. I mean, they're both around the same size. Lyra's got to be actually feeling good because she's taller than Roxanne. But anyway, you know, Lyra wins the match and stuff. And then Raquel Rodriguez, she comes and attacks Lyra. And as they're beating up Lyra, then out comes Bayley. I say just welcome back Bayley. She's back now. So, and then Bayley, takes care of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. But then she just goes off and just starts hugging everybody. I mean, like, I know they have her, fighting with her alter egos and stuff like that, good versus evil inside her head and stuff, which is kind of crazy. But then, I mean, she's out there just hugging everybody just for, just hugging, 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 hugging. Can I get a hug? No, you get a hug. Can I get a hug? No, you get a hug. But anyway, and then, as the night goes on, then Lyra goes, to try to talk to Bayley, and then she has Bayley in her locker room, dressing room, just talking to herself. And then Lyra asks her who she was talking to. Bayley just sits there and just looks a little bit kind of, crazy. But then after that, she just goes off on Lyra and tells Lyra to stay out of her room, out of her locker room and stuff. And then that goes off. And then we get, Nick Aldis with Stephenie Vaquer and Io Sky. I mean, with Adam Pearce. I don't know why I keep calling Adam Pearce Nick Aldis. But anyway, Adam Pearce. All right. They've already set the tone, for the match and stuff like that. So they'll be getting their match at WrestlePalooza. And then Stephenie is, Stephenie Valkair is telling Io, that she respects her and stuff and made the best woman win. And Io is basically saying the same thing to her, but then Io said that she's going to be the one that wins the match. And then we get Oscar showing up and everything, and then they go at it, and then Oscar just makes a match for Kairi Sane to wrestle Stephenie Valkair. You should see the look on Kairi's face. It was just priceless. So that match will be on for later on tonight. And then we got LA Knight asking Jimmy Uso um, to be his tag partner for the night against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. And then Jimmy turns him down just because of the fact for his, just for his brother's namesake and what was going on between Jey Uso and LA Knight. And Jimmy basically told him to find someone else. Then we get to the match with Kofi Kingston and Penta. Now, I swear we just had this match not too long ago, and the same outcome happened. Penta wins and stuff. And it's crazy. And then they all, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Waller try to jump on Penta, and Penta just, like he always does, takes him out. So, I mean, and what does this have to do anything with WrestlePalooza is what I'm saying. Nothing, excuse me, in that match has anything to do with WrestlePalooza. But then again, I've got to say, hey, look, if you want it, I got it. Let's talk about it. Please, hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, uh, leave a comment, hit that bell. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments and stuff. Because this stuff to me it's not funny, but it is funny and stuff. And then you got Jimmy and Jay backstage. They're talking, and you have Jay on the phone, like talking to Roman Reigns. I'm assuming that's who he's talking to, but no one's answering on the other side. So he's telling whoever it is, like Roman, that he needs to talk to him. He has questions that he needs to ask. And then Jay um, telling Jimmy that he knows that the fact that Jimmy's gonna tag with LA Knight, but he doesn't know that Jimmy had already told LA Knight that he wasn't going to be tagging with him. And then Jay started giving orders kind of like to Jimmy, and Jimmy said, "Hey, the last time I looked, I didn't see no Ula follow around your neck." And Jimmy walks off, and then Jimmy goes and tells LA Knight, "Hey, look, if you're still looking for a partner, I'll be your partner." So Jimmy went and said that he'll be the partner for LA Knight. And then we get the Seth Rollins and the Becky Lynch, promo with AJ Lee and CM Punk. I mean, in this, they talked about nothing. It was nothing. It was more like a lot of insults and stuff like that, And then Becky still saying the fact that, about Sports Illustrated saying that she's the best and stuff like that. And, AJ Lee, she got a couple of words in edgewise and everything and stuff like that, And after a while, then AJ Lee and Seth Rollins are face to face, and Seth Rollins is saying some crazy things to AJ Lee. And then AJ Lee slaps the living crap out of Seth Rollins. And then, Seth Rollins says the same thing that CM Punk said about a week ago. Look, I don't hit ladies, but I have somebody else that will. Then he tries to tell Becky to go and do something, and Becky's looking at him, and then now they start arguing and saying like, "You the one start this? No, you're the one start this." So they start blaming each other for, for what's going on with them. And then AJ Lee and CM Punk, they're just sitting there just looking at them two, just arguing and stuff like that. And then Becky Lynch leaves the ring, and while she's still blaming Seth Rollins for everything, and then Seth, smashes CM Punk in the face, and then CM Punk chases after Seth Rollins. Then Becky Lynch climbs into the ring, and then she manhandle slams AJ Lee and leaves her on the mat. And then CM Punk comes in, to make sure that she's safe. But while CM Punk is in there, then Becky turns around and slaps CM Punk in the face twice and stuff. And then she slides out of the ring, and now they're looking at each other, and oh man, it's just crazy. So I guess that was the build up for the match that they're gonna have at WrestlePalooza for this weekend and stuff. I mean, come on, for real, $30 for what? Nothing. Okay, then we have a backstage promo with Dirty Dom Mysterio. Congratulations to him. He's a new AAA Mega Champ and an IC champ, so he's a two-time champion and stuff. So as they're doing the backstage promo with him, you hear a bunch of noise in the back, and it's the New Day that has just jumped on and beaten Penta with a chair. So they break that up, and then we get the match with Grande Americano and Dragon Lee. I guess we're having these matches because what happened with AJ Styles and El Grande Americano. There was another El Grande that came out, and then now Dragon Lee and El Grande Americano. Now they're having this match and stuff. And then as this match goes on and stuff, then the other El Grande come out, or the second El Grande comes out, to interfere in the match. Then AJ Lee comes out, chasing after the other El Grande Americano and stuff. And then a third one pops out. And then El Grande Americano, he does this move on Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee, taps out and stuff. But it just and there's no match for them for WrestlePalooza. I mean, this makes zero sense, is what I'm saying. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. All right. Man, this is man. Then we got like I said earlier about Bayley and Lyra and stuff, and then I don't know what's going on with Bayley. Her dealing with the you know things going on in her head and stuff like that, and then she getting mad at Lyra and telling Lyra to stay out the locker room. And then we got Rhea Ripley and Stephenie Vaquer. And then Rhea's telling Stephenie no matter who wins the title between her and Io, as she's been saying for the last 8 months that she's coming for a title that she never lost. I mean, I'm laughing because it's just crazy, So whoever wins, they better know that Rhea is coming after them. Oh man, then we get the match with Stephanie Valkair and Kairi Sane, which was not a bad match. It was okay. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good match. They did some good work and stuff in there. Stephanie Valkair, I mean, she's real good. So I know the match that with her and Io is gonna probably a really, really good match. You know, um, so I have to connect this with that and stuff. Kyrie saying, she loses, Stephanie Valkyrie wins. You know, um, and then Oscar, tries to go after Stephanie Vaquer. Then Io comes down, and now they're arguing in the ring. There was a lot of arguing going on tonight. So they're arguing in the ring and stuff. And then Io kind of, calms, Oscar down. And then Oscar, leaves the ring. And then we have Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed in a little backstage or film promo, whatever it was, saying that they're going to end, the Usos when they have their match at WrestlePalooza. And then we got Io Sky, telling Oscar that, she doesn't need her help, with the match with her and Stephanie Valkyrie, that she can take care of them, take care of everything by herself. She doesn't need any help, and I mean, Oscar, arguing with her and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. Triple H is just really doing some sad stuff here. I can't understand it and stuff. But anyway, then we have the Judgment Day. Congrats, Dirty Dom, for winning the AAA Mega Championship, which was cool. Finn Balor, I think he doesn't really like Dom and stuff. And I think Finn Balor is going to actually try to come for one of them belts and stuff. But then at the end of that, then you have Rusev telling Dirty Dom that he's going to be the next IC champion. So that match is going to come. Not sure when that's going to happen. Then we get the main event, LA Knight and Jimmy Uso against the Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. It was an okay match. It went back and forth. Okay, so Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, they win the match and everything, and then they just beat the crap out of LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. And then out comes Jey Uso with a chair, and he attacks Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed with the chair, beats them up a little bit. They, leave the ring and stuff. And then Jay and LA Knight look at each other, kind of have some words, and then they shake the hand, give the embrace. And then as Jay turns around to go see about Jimmy, LA LA Knight pushes him, and then Jay turns around, then he BFTs Jay to the ground, and then starts talking crap and walks off. And that's how we end. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, let me know how you're feeling and stuff, because this show tonight was trash. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, they have nothing nothing that will excite me to get that ESPN um, app. But in order to put out my videos and everything, I have to bite the crunch. If I could save everybody money and just give the recap of what's going on on WrestlePalooza, and stuff because I mean, how they got it set up as far as the matches, I guess the matches seem like they're going to be good and stuff, but we had no build up to it at all. But anyway, I thank you for watching. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. I thank you. God bless. And I'll see you. Deuces, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.